Hello everyone, this is Hadrian. Thank you for watching. Let's play some more Crusader Kings II in our Lord of the Scots series. So we're a jerk. King Sinyad II, the ill ruler of Pictland, in the final moments of the last episode, literally killed his grandson and was caught doing it because the hunter that we hired to help out is a drunken idiot and just decided to tell everyone that I was involved after the killing, which was successful. So, yeah, now my son hates me. Understandably so. My grandson also hates me. Not quite as much, but the king of Pictland is currently not a popular man with his own kin, which is hilarious. But what can you do? Oh, yes, that's right. I have a character I need to imprison. Earl Oswald of Lute. So we're going to increase his arrest chance by planting our marshal there. And then... yeah, there's still actually a pretty crappy arrest chance despite that. Yep, he has raised his flag in rebellion. Of course he has. So he was actually our chancellor. But he was a man of ill repute. So just for funsies, I went ahead and took care of that. And now we're going to finish off his rebellion nice and quick-like. Alright, this should be over pretty quickly. I've got things on speed 5 at the moment. Oh, good. Technological advancement as well, because we still have our spy master helping out in... we have our spy master helping out in Constantinople studying technology. One child lacks a guardian. This is our second son. So I will go ahead and educate him myself. So I can have control over his development as a kid. It actually would behoove me slightly to hinder his development and make him not a very formidable foe. Just a thought. My liege, my mission to Fib has so far been a success. During my visit to the court of Bishop Geralt of Pinbed, I seem to have made him understand what a benevolent and pious ruler you really are, and he sends his regards. That's good. Our war score is 100%, so that rebellion has been crushed. We are going to disband all of these units. Bishop Geralt of Pinbed, what's his thing? So he's a known murderer as well. Yeah, let's just imprison him. Alright, so I have a few people in my dungeon now. Let's take a look. Prisoners. Alright, we're going to go ahead and revoke his title. And we have I need to make a new vassal to take control of that bishopric. So there's now a new bishop there. The non-aggression pact between Oswald... okay, this is the earl that we imprisoned. And Sauron... interesting. I wonder why they had a non-aggression pact. Maybe from before we invaded. That's the only explanation that I can think of. But, alright, so Pictland is doing pretty well. This will one day be converted to Scotland, and we can be... and remember, our goal with this series is to control the entire British Isles. But we are currently on a track to potentially have a little bit of trouble keeping Pictland stable. Let's speed things up a bit. Actually, you know what? We've made some people unhappy with us, so let's go ahead and hold a feast. Let's send out my son. How funny would it be if he died? That would actually kind of solve the problem. The best part about preparing a feast is to decide what foodstuff to serve. I must purchase venison, boar, and duck, spices, and wine and ale, honey for the desserts, cheeses, and perhaps even a swan or a peacock. Let's spend lavishly on food. I can afford it at the moment. And send out the invitations. Bishop Tommeltalk did not want to come to the feast. Well, I don't like you either, you jerk. Suddenly I'm thinking, I'm a known murderer already. I might as well try and kill my son's wife so that he can't have any other kids. Plot power is not that great. If we started this plot... Bishop Ainmere, cut the throat of one of my servants when the clumsy man spilled wine over his garb. Imprison him. Good lord. So we're now just. That gave us some additional stewardship. Learning, vassal opinion. Last of the guests have returned home. That's hilarious. Wasn't expecting that, but it's hilarious. All right. So the king is now 61. I don't want to say that he's going to die any day, but he's probably going to die any day. One thing I can do to prolong this situation a little bit is I can give him additional health via... Let's see, what's the best way to do this? Probably family. That would also increase his fertility, though, which is not good. I need him not to have additional fertility right now. Don't crank out any more babies. So I could give him, let's go ahead and give him the hunting one. This will give him +1 health as well, which will help prolong his life. And give him slightly better martial score. There we go. So martial's up to 18. And is there anyone else we can declare war on? Yes, there is, actually. We can declare war on a whole bunch of people. We can technically take all of Northumbria right now, but I don't want to do that because I am not confident about the situation with succession, which I've talked about in previous episodes. Huh. Looks like some technologies are going to need to be advanced pretty soon. Apparently, one of the courtiers has been annoying my wife Gisela, and instead of asking me for help, she took the matter into her own hands and made sure the courtier would never annoy her again, or he'd know the consequences. What on earth was she thinking, or she did the right thing? Yeah, I'm going to chastise her, because I want to try and distance the king from his wife, so that no more babies get made. He might be old and flaccid, for lack of a better word, but she is young and fertile, and we want to make sure... Well, she's 27 now. Time's been flying. But still, like, we want to make sure that she does not sire any more children for the king. So anything we can do to reduce their relationship will be a good thing. Council-wise, what can I have my people doing? Alright, Court Chaplain of Pictland. So where are you right now? So he's at court in Culfredon. Fib. Every time my son Uridoc meets a stranger, he looks like he might faint. Shyness is a terrible curse. I'll talk with him. Oh good, he's gregarious. Technically that's bad, because we don't want we don't want the son that is going to be that we're going to be fighting, which is that one, to be too powerful of a character. So we don't want him to have good traits. But actually, come to think of it, that was probably a bad idea to guarantee him that. I need to make sure that I make him a crappy character. Gregarious does not affect his martial score, though, I don't think. vicious rumors are going to go away in a few years. That'll help. People will like me a little bit more. How's the Byzantine Empire doing? I'll know once the autosave is done. King Carl of West Francia has set up Pope Sigaric as an anti-pope and named Pope Alexander II. Interesting. All right, so it looks like they were able to resolve their revolt, as you would expect from the Byzantine Empire. It has come to my attention that the Chancellor of Teviotdale, Lothair, has bribed and threatened his way through my domain, trying to get enough people to recognize a claim on my title that he has fabricated for his liege, Earl Ebhart of Teviotdale. Okay, so this is a Northumbrian character. They better not use it. Alright, so they're using it. So someone's fabricated a claim on my land. So if they try and declare war on me, that could be interesting. My prisoner, Bishop Aenmir the Wicked, is complaining about his dark cell in the dungeons. You literally just killed a servant in cold blood. How about the Wiblet for you? Which, by the way, if you don't know what the Wiblet is, it's just the darkest possible corner of the dungeon. It's basically where you would just get thrown to die. The White Stag. Lately you have heard persistent rumors from peasants and travelers in the wilds that a strange mythical beast has been sighted in your realm. It's a white stag, powerful and elusive. The common folk claim it comes from another world, and the hunter who claims it will be imbued with divine power. I must send out people to find it. It's always a fun quest chain. No, be a better Catholic. Alright, looks like we've seen the White Stag. Gonna saddle my horse and try and find it. The anti-papacy of Pope Alexander II has ended. That was short-lived. What's going on with that? An epic hunt it shall be, so we're going to go looking for the White Stag. Almost never find it on the first try. That's a very uncommon thing. You spend weeks in the wilderness searching for any trace of your prey, but to no avail. You find plenty of bugs, snakes, and riding sores, however. This is pointless, so there's a chance we're going to gain the stressed trait, and a chance we're going to gain wrath, which is one of the 7 deadly sins. Thankfully, we did not gain either. I will not give up. Like I said, you never find it on the first try. I hope we'll be friends. That's Talurg. We literally raised him. We just had an opportunity to become friends with him, and he was like, no, I don't like you. I had to break up a fight between my son Uridoc and another child today. Uridoc's heart is filled with envy. Let's talk to him about kindness. Baron Conwell is no longer Chancellor for King Senyad II. I have just not been keeping Chancellors. Isn't this the guy that just dropped the position? Okay, I guess he inherited... Yeah, I'm just going to give it back to him. Yeah, so he's still my Chancellor. That's weird. He inherited a bishopric, and so it pulled him out of the position, but then I was able to give him the superior position right back. Damn it! Alright, so wife is pregnant again, despite efforts to the contrary. We don't want her to be pregnant. This is not good right now. My liege, I wish to intercede on behalf of one of your prisoners, Euthoil Map Elpin. Surely a show of mercy would please all your vassals. Diplomatically explain why I cannot. Hope we'll be friends with that guy. Wow. Okay, so actually we're now bitter rivals. I raised Talurg, and he is now my rival. Because that makes sense. King Carl of West Francia has set up Pope Turpin as an anti-pope named Pope Leo III. Alright, so they're trying the anti-pope thing again. The church has just gotten some very beautiful stained glass windows, and as I and Mormumen contemplated the windows, the priest approached us and asked what we thought about them. I had thought about the symbolism of the windows, while Mormumen had just repeated what I had said. Or rather, I had thought about the symbolism of the windows while Mormon just repeated what I had said. It was a bit flattering, really. This is just a courtier. She is too arbitrary to voice her own opinion. Let's encourage her to be a bit more strong-minded. The Fraticelli heresy has appeared in the province of Circe. Really? Let's take a look around. It's right there. So we need to look into that. Okay. So we've got our court chaplain working on that. Our son, actually, who hates us. Hopefully that heresy will die a quick death. These are all the provinces that we stand to lose. Actually, it looks like we won't lose Dublin. Oh, good. The new child was a daughter. Thankfully. Classic Crusader Kings II theme playing in the background. Never ever gets old. We've got things running on a pretty fast speed right now because not much is going on. We can go on a grand hunt. Why not? Let's find the white stag. A white hart has been seen in north of Fib. I'm told it is a hart of 10 and the biggest deer ever seen. I will send out our best hunter. I didn't want to risk dying at this point. It's already pretty risky doing the white stag hunt with a ruler you don't want to die. Got 10 prestige out of it. Our daughter has come of age. Time's moving pretty quickly. We'll raise her ourselves. Okay, interesting. I could make the son that we are going to have to fight with, I could make him an arbitrary character. So I'm going to go ahead and let him have that. Because again, I actually want to focus on making sure he's not too awesome of a character and he's a little easier to defeat in battle. Just thinking ahead a little bit for when the realm split happens. Because we're going to lose, again, these territories. Thankfully, we're not going to lose Dublin, so we will keep Dublin, but we'll lose everything else that we've conquered. Which is more than a little annoying. Oh, we have room for new commanders, don't we? So Tilurg is one of our commanders. Yunan is one of our commanders. And we'll go ahead and give it to that guy. Why not? So that alert goes away. It's been sitting up there for 3 or 4 episodes now. Might as well make it disappear. How's the rest of the world doing? The church wants to organize a miracle play for a local saint in our domain. They seem to feel that it should fall on our shoulders to pay for it. It's for the glory of God. Gain some piety. So we have a lot of prestige now, thankfully. We're up to 852. Never a bad thing. Taking a quick look at the land we can conquer. How is that? It's saying that we have... Hold on a minute. I'm confused. How is this happening? That color usually means that we can conquer that territory. Interesting. An emissary from Pope Eugenius II has reached us with a proposal. Pope will grant us absolution for our sin of kinslaying. Alright, so we will lose a lot of money for this. and we'll lose a lot of piety. But we will definitely lose Kinslayer. Gone. Awesome. We're actually making a decent amount of money right now too, which is nice. Our son doesn't hate us as much as he used to. My daughter Sarah hardly eats anything for fear of turning fat. Temperance is a virtue. So she is in possession of the temperance virtue. Or unless it's called something else. No, she's temperate. +2 stewardship, and the church likes her more for being temperate. We're about to have... Oh, wait. The kitchen is truly a wonderful place filled with delicious things and smells, but it worries me that Eurodok spends all his time here when he should be practicing sword fighting and learning how to rule, so he's the opposite of his sister, which I find hilarious. Force Eurodok to learn how to fight. He is now brave, which is probably not a good thing. But he's arbitrary, and arbitrary is like the worst of the worst, so it's okay. He's actually got a decent martial score now. I should have let him become gluttonous. I'm not accustomed, I'm not used to deliberately making a child a crappy character. It's weird for me. I cannot help but overhear the stable master and a courtier's animated discussion. Something about a horse and a payment due today, but the courtier insisted to pay the stable master later that week. I should interfere. I settled the matter between Giselle as my stable master. I tried to be as just as I could. Okay, looks like a tribal army was raised. Apparently I can disband these guys because I don't need them. Truces are expiring, so our truce with Northumbria is expiring, which is good. We can fight another war with them. Take a little bit more territory. Speaking of that, let's have a look at... Yeah, his army levies are only at 732. We can win any war with them because we're at close to 3,000 men. Of course I'll come. Someone's hosting a feast. I will never complain about a feast. All right, on that note, before we dive into another war with these guys, with Northumbria, we're probably going to take, I would imagine, Galloway or Carrick. Let's take a quick look at our options as far as declaring war. Yep, still just have single options. So Carrick will be our next target, and then Galloway, then Teviotdale, and then Dunbar. Just kind of moving in this direction. But I will go ahead and cut this episode here. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I upload new episodes in Lord of the Scots every day at noon Eastern Daylight Time, which is GMT -4 for those of you not in the States. And comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in a bit.